It is low, and it is low because it is a low loader. This is another WSI limited edition heavy haulage model, and it's a big Scania tractor with a Nooteboom low loader. This is a limited edition and it's in the colours of the Irish haulage company O'Neill's. Without wasting any time at all, let's get all of the parts out of the box. And included with the model is an instruction manual for the trailer, and as you can see it's a large fold-out sheet. And there's no doubt about it, there certainly is a load of sheet. On one side there's information covering the different configurations that were available for this trailer, and on the other side there's information from Nooteboom about the real trailer. And that's always nice information to go with a model. Also, it's good to see that there's a collector card with this model, and it confirms that 170 have been made. There's one item to install on the Scania, and that's a pin in the towing hitch at the front. And after that tough operation, it's all about assembling the trailer. So let's grab a handful of the rear end and a handful of deck, and they get joined together by inserting a steel pin. The trick here is all about getting the alignment right so the pin can be slid in, and as there's no finger small enough to slide the pin in, we're using a tool. After that it's over we go, and we can join the front of the deck to the gooseneck. It hooks over at the front, and then there's a plastic spring clip which secures it. With that done, we can join the tractor and trailer together, and as we've done it so many times, its clunk click does the trick. After that it's all about detail, and there's a connection to make from the gooseneck into the trailer deck. To keep the deck at the right level there's a spacer piece to insert, and it's just a little bit fiddly to get into the correct position. But once it's in, the deck stands up proudly. Next we need to make our mark, and we do that this time by inserting marker boards at the gooseneck. But that's not enough for us, so we'll insert marker boards at the back too. And finally we've got an optional blanking plate that goes at the end of the module trough. The Scania is mounted on an 8x4 chassis, and as you would expect from WSI it is very detailed, and that includes different tyres front and rear. The cab looks great in the O'Neill's colour scheme, and the Scania grille is modelled really well. At the bottom there are nice chevrons on the bumper and a realistic number plate. The decoration on the side also looks great, and the door handle and access steps are modelled. The wheels have got Scania on them. You can just see the exhaust pipe, and the big equipment tower has got very nice etching. Much of it is metal, and it's got lights and tanks detailed, and there are coiled lines. At the back the wheel arches are plastic and the lights have lenses, and there's Scania on the rigid mud flaps. The gooseneck is excellent because of the tiny detailing on the control console, and so you can see how small it is. Look at that big fat finger. The deck has got a plastic replica timber inlay, and there are also bolthead details in it, and there's a yellow stripe which continues through to the module. There are more small graphics and nicely detailed wheels. Up on top, the highlighted boltheads and textured surface give the model an authentic look. And there are plenty of detailed graphics at the back also. The big Scania has linked steering on the front axles, but the range of movement is not great, and the rear axles spin freely. Out on the Cranes etc. test track, the model doesn't roll quite so smoothly and it skids a little. And with the steering set, we can say that something is better than nothing. To get to the engine, we can tilt the cab forward, although it doesn't tilt hugely. But it will pose in a tilted position, and you can see the engine underneath. Until you close the cab up, that is. There is one other bit of functionality, which is the fifth wheel, and that can be adjusted for position longitudinally. Moving right along to the trailer, and we see that it has steering of all the axles and they're linked. And there's suspension too, and in fact it feels a bit like you're playing a musical instrument. On the ground the module rolls well enough, and if we set the steering, the module will attempt travelling in a curve. Another piece of functionality is that the deck is extendable, so it's good for carrying those extra long loads. If you like sticking things in holes, then there are plenty of deck posts which you can insert into holes in the deck. And if you prefer to feel the width of things, you can carefully adjust all of the tiny plastic outriggers, and then by placing the plastic timbers, you can increase the width of the deck. So without any more hullabaloo, let's give the truck something to carry, and in flies a WSI Liebherr excavator model to make up the load. With the steering set on the rear module, we can see that the trailer performs well. This is another very nice looking heavy haulage model from WSI Models. The big advantage of a model like this is that it can be posed with others to make an interesting display, and the very nice detailing and functionality adds to the display options. So this is a nice limited edition model which is rated as very good.